Welcome to the channel, everyone. Started a little early tonight. Figured I'd start a little early, give people time to get their pop-ups and get in. Um, so welcome. Obviously, Diana Pillion Styles here, Motorbalm, Virginia, and Quickshoe. So welcome in, guys. Tonight, I'm wearing my old school customs hat. Nathan Grubb gave me this when I was at the vintage motorcycle race a couple weeks ago in Hohenwald, Tennessee. So welcome everybody. We'll give everybody a little time to get in. It's not quite yet time to start it yet, but I figured why not give everybody a good heads up to get in. Salty Badger, welcome in. Um, Thanks. Yep, I got this from Nathan Grubb at Billy Lane's vintage motorcycle, old school bike show and race. Serenity Kennedy, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. I've got more hats. I'll be showing those off later in the in the show, but wait on a little bit more time for people to come in. Just give everybody a chance to pop in. All right, so tonight's show, is about the worst ride that you've ever had. You guys can go ahead and throw yours in here in the comments in the side chat. Make sure if you want me to see it, highlight with @RainyRider if you can. If not, just keep repeating it until I find it, until I catch it. Can everybody hear me well? Am I okay out there? I think I am. All right. So obviously, you guys know that I've had quite a few trips in the last probably 5 years, 6 years since I've been doing this channel. I've ridden in rains, hurricanes, storms, ice storms, snowstorms, tornadoes, 120-degree heat. I have been around. So I've got quite a few trips that, not that I regret taking them, but I've had some trips that about halfway through the trip, when I was soaked to the bone and the temperature dropped from, mid 80s, high 70s down to 30s at one point. I've had some points in the trips where I've said, maybe this isn't for me. Usually that's after I haven't slept for an entire weekend, coming back from a trip, and it got cold. Probably the worst one that obviously I'm just thinking about it is one of the times I was coming back from Forgotten Angels, and left Forgotten Angels. It was in like the high 80s. Got into the turn off towards Osceola, and I was pedaling. I was duck walking the bike for about, I'm not kidding, about 10 miles. Got stupid sweaty, and by the time I got up to Atlanta, which if you guys know me, I hate Atlanta. Got up to Atlanta, and the temperature dropped down to 30 degrees, and there was ice on the ground, and it was snowing in Atlanta. Millie, welcome in. Thanks for stopping surfing just to come see me. That means a lot to me. But yeah, it's I got into Atlanta. Temperature dropped. There were 3 wrecks within like 100 feet of me, and I decided this is a good time to stop. So I stopped. Got into a hotel. There was snow on the ground, and I'm trying to. If you've been around this place, it's called Douglasville, Georgia. It's right north of Atlanta, and it's a very hilly area. So I was trying to get up to these hotels to see if they even had vacancies. So I wasn't planning on stopping. So I got a hotel in advance, and trying to get into the hotels. I'm on this big bagger. It's loaded down with all my camping gear because I just came from Forgotten Angels, and nearly wiped out quite a few times. And stayed overnight. And the next morning, I had breakfast, went to leave, and there's snow on the ground and ice on the ground still. So I had to wait till the sun came up a little bit just to get the ice off my windshield, where I could try to get back onto the highway. So that was a hell of a trip. Hell of a trip. Enjoyed it still, but it didn't. Obviously didn't stop me from riding again, because that was almost 3 years ago now, and I'm still riding. Salty Badger says I should check out the Smokeout Rally in North Carolina in September and join in on the Blessed Hell ride. I actually have a friend in North Carolina, so I might actually check that out. This year, I'm trying to do a lot of trips. Obviously, the big ones for me are Little Sturgis, since I'm trying to revive Little Sturgis, Mississippi. It's the third weekend in August in southern Mississippi, well about mid Mississippi, really, and it is hot. So it's a hard one to get people to go to, but I enjoy it when I go, and so I'm trying to get as many people to go as I can because I promised the mayor I would. I'm trying a new. It's the same sound system I tried last time, so I'm trying to just make sure that I can keep it going. So if you guys all of a sudden can't hear me, make sure you say something. So and I'll try to keep it going. Let's see. Quick Shoe says Leaving Forgotten News Camp March this year. Yeah, it's always worse in March. The one in Halloween is usually pretty nice. The one in March, it's a toss up because in March, the whole East Coast is still getting snow and cold weather. And it sucks. You know, there's a lot of people that come down from Maine and Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, Iowa, Wisconsin, Indiana, and all those suck a lot. So March is a tough one. Um, so yeah, July 10th, Tazewell, Virginia. The VAMM, I should know what that's for. One of those M's stands for motorcycle, probably. I should say. VAMM, I'm not familiar with it. Sorry, bud. Throw it in there. Let me know what VAMM stands for, because I mean, why not? Somebody will go, right? All right, let's see here. What do we got going on? All right, you guys hold tight. We should be getting more people in here sometime soon, hopefully. I think Gma was going to try to pop in tonight. Obviously, Buck Brown won't be popping in on the show tonight. He's out in the middle of nowhere, so that works. And I did promise Gma, Buck, you've got to be parked to get on now. She feels really bad about you driving and trying to get on, so. Virginia Motovlogger Meetup. Oh, well, that does sound good. Okay, well, I got to know where that's at then. July 10th, Tazewell, Virginia. Send me a link to that where I can try to find it later because I don't have anything to keep track of it right now. Yep, Buck Brown's driving. I knew he would be. But thanks for coming in anyway, Buck. You can listen to us, or listen to me, I guess, for now because I'm the only one here. So I guess I get to do all the talking. So let's talk about one of my other horrendous trips. On the way down to Forgotten Angels, I think this was me and Diana's first trip to go down there. This just must have been like 4 years ago. Almost 5 years ago. We were going down and there was a wreck somewhere on the road. We were coming down somewhere between Montgomery and Mobile, or Montgomery and Birmingham, and it spit us off on a side road somewhere. And we're going through these beautiful rice fields and soybean fields, and all of a sudden there's nothing. And bike gets low on gas. We're trying to look for a place to stop. And next thing you know, I'm out of gas. It's saying I got 20 miles to go on the tank, and there's nothing around anywhere. Sick bastard, welcome in. So yeah, we eventually got to a place where I could get gas, but then it was closed. And every time I went to slow down at stop signs, there was rice all over the road. And again, I've got Diane on the back. I've got all my gear on the back. I've got my camping stuff. We had the big old bagger loaded down. And that was a really sketchy trip. And that's the first time I took a really long trip with Dan that long. Now, we'd gone before on trips that we would ride out for about 6-7 hours and stop, ride 4 or 5 hours and stop, ride somewhere else and stop. We'd never tried to make it all the way down to Tampa. And I think that first day we rode probably 10 hours. So that's the longest I've ever had her on the back of a bike with me. So that was definitely one of those, maybe I shouldn't be riding this long, type trips. So let's see what's going on in the comments here. Badger says we're leaving out of Hell Saloon in Hell, Michigan to ride 666-ish miles to the gates of the Rodin County Fairgrounds in Salisbury, North Carolina on hardtail choppers. No, I like my kidneys. My back is old. I'm in my mid 50s now. I do not do hardtail anything. You guys have fun though. Have a whole lot of fun. I might go watch. We'll talk about it. You can come on later and you can talk about it on the show. But yeah, that's young boy games there. I remember watching one of the biker build offs where I think it was Jesse James and maybe Billy Lane, somebody. Yeah, they had built two hardtail choppers, and they're talking about how mine's better than yours or whatever. Ugh, sorry, got a little chill there. But yeah, they're talking about how bad their bikes are, and this old man, he's like, how far you guys riding? He says, oh, we're doing 500 miles, And the old man's like, yeah, you guys are gonna be doing piss and blood before you get there, and that's the truth of it, man. I mean, it's you get to a certain age, and it's like, yeah, my body is now a little fragile. It ain't as wimpy as some bodies, but you hit your 50s, you've got to start being very careful about the things you do with your body because your body's a lot less forgiving than it used to be. So yeah, I'm enjoying my comfortable ride. The Sportster, I still do want to do a trip on the Sportster down to maybe to Tampa one day, but definitely got to split that one up into 2 days because my body doesn't handle that anymore. And I'm not cushioned like one of these other people that we all know who took a Sportster all the way down to Tampa. I don't have the cushion for that anymore. So I have less butt in my 50s than I did in my 20s and 30s. So yeah, I won't be doing a 16-hour ride on a Sportster. Um, Salty Badger said he's doing the biker build off. Welcome to it. I will definitely check it out. But yeah, I know my limitations and they are not hardtail choppers. Good luck on you though. Let's see. You guys want to drop in the comments? Drop your the trip that made you almost say no to bikes. Um, Obviously, we're all still on bikes. We didn't say no, but still waiting on something else to pop in here. Let's see. Man, it's kind of. I hate it when people don't show up for the show. It gets a little lonely in here. So I guess I could talk about what I've got going on in the garage until somebody else pops in. So everybody knows that I'm working on the Ninja. Um, I got the gas tank in for the Ninja. I've got the fuel pump. I've got the fuel level sensor. The O-ring just came in today for the pump. I've got a new fuel hose. So all that will be going on tomorrow. And then I'm just going to put some gas in and start it up. So I've already got the electrical system figured out. The bike rolls over. The bike makes spark. What else did I get? Oh, cleaned out the airbox. Put new plugs in it. Obviously, got spark now. And all the lights work on it, even though I got the fairing pulled off, which was, thinking back now, I probably could have tried all the lights when the fairing was still on it. But, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, hell, I had to come off anyway. Now I'm kind of wondering how much I'll actually be putting back on the bike, as far as the fairing goes, once I'm done putting it together. So what I'm planning on doing with the Ninja, I did figure out a way to get it titled, called Mississippi, and Mississippi said I just got to do a couple pieces of paperwork, get a sales receipt, and they will title me the bike, and then I'm gonna put it on the road. It needs tires, although I thought the tires were bald, and then come to find out after I got it all washed off and stuff, it's actually racing tires. Once I could read the labels on them, the tires were bald, not because they were worn out, because that's what they had on them. Which also figured out the bike was wrecked at the Memphis Motor Speedway, which is why it got beat up. Why it got parked up, I'll never know. I mean, what was wrong with the bike was cosmetic. I can't see anything that happened to that bike that would have not had them riding it. The bars are straight as far as I can tell. The forks are definitely straight. The tires were good. And with the battery and plugging all the harnesses back in, the harness was just unplugged. Plugged all the harnesses back in, and the bike rolled over and made fire, and the lights turned on. So I don't know. Maybe something will pop up later that might be the reason why they parked it up. But for now, I mean, things are looking good. So hopefully I have a running bike. And then I've got to figure out, again, if I want a sport bike, a little 650R, or if I want to try to give it a good home to somebody who needs transportation. If you guys don't know, the the Kawasaki 650R is I guess it's termed as a race bike, but yeah, I still hadn't made nearly the contact video yet. Except I don't wear my contacts anymore as I've gotten older. My eyes have gotten better. That's weird. I will get you the contact video tomorrow, Millie. I promise. I'll get it to you. Dry Heat Doug, welcome in. Where were we at? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna find the bike a good home once I get it on the road and roadworthy, and I know that it works and nobody will kill themselves on it. I'm gonna sell the bike, recoup some money on it. But I'll make a lot of good videos about on it first. So probably give it a really cool paint job. I did see a very cool paint job on a bike like that one today, another Kawasaki. But that one was painted up in girly colors, but it was still pretty cool. Gave me some good ideas. What I'm thinking about now is I've got some Battlestar Galactica vinyl appliques. So what I'm thinking about doing is painting the entire bike black and getting some Battlestar Galactica themed vinyls. Putting on like the Viper, putting on, the Battlestar Galactica, the logo from the show, and just making it pretty cool. So that's what I'm working on. Christian Biker, welcome in. Nice to see you here. All right, let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Christian Biker says his worst trip in 2 flats in the same trip within 2 hours. Yeah, that sucks. I did have, if you guys remember my Natchez Trace video, the ride was going pretty good, although a little boring. And somehow where I pulled off on the road and I picked up a nail. The thing was, I couldn't find the nail, so when I stopped on the side of the road, there was no nail to be found. So I just kept putting air in the tire until I got it home. I had to cut my trip off. Which also means sometime in the next month or so, I've got to finish the Natchez Trace. So I've got to ride back down to Tupelo, Mississippi, pick up the Trace there, and ride up to Nashville. So that video's coming. I do want to finish the ride because, from what everybody tells me, the Trace from Tupelo up to Nashville is the best part. The part from Natchez up to Tupelo was pretty nice, but after about 350 miles, it got a little boring. So, about 300 miles. It was the same scene over and over. There was a lake. The lake was cool, but the rest of it was just like, rolling plains, Little House on the Prairie. So I am looking at finishing that ride. So, any of you guys got some of your worst trips? Throw them down in the comments there. People are starting to come in. You got any questions? Throw your questions down in the comments. Let's see. I guess it's back to me then. So let's see. I did do another ride, which I've also told you guys before, I do not ride Kawasaki's. However, I have one now, so it kind of turned me into a liar. But the first Kawasaki I tried to ride was a Kawasaki 750 Limited. And it threw me across the barbed wire fence and nearly killed me. And I left the bike where it was laying because a friend of mine wanted it. I said, there it is, you can have it. And I sold it to him on the spot. So, that was interesting. But then, I said I'd never have a Kawasaki after that because every Kawasaki I've rode since then has tried to kill me. This one is small. It's a 650. Maybe it won't try to kill me. It is a little docile. It's small. But for a race bike, it's good handling. It's only a 650. It's a twin, not a 4. So I've got good hopes for this one. Obviously, I'm a better rider now also. So I got to throw that in the hat. Let's see what's going on here. You'll be in Nashville sometime around the 12th. I'm not sure if I'll be in Nashville by the 12th, but let's chat about that. I'm about 4 hours from Nashville where I'm at here. So, let's figure something out. The 12th is in 6 days. That's in the middle of the week. I probably won't make that one. I don't know. Father's Day's next weekend, right? It's not this weekend, is it? That'd be kind of embarrassing. Oh, well. All right, if you guys haven't yet, if anybody's out there watching and you can't get into the chat, you do have to have a registered YouTube name to get into the chat. So if you guys want to get into the chat, register for YouTube real quick, get yourself a name, and I think you have to use a Gmail email to get into the chat. I think somebody else said they had an older, like a Hotmail account or something, and you couldn't get into the chat with a Hotmail account. It's got to be Gmail, I believe. All right, let's see. Dry Heat Doug says he's going to try to hop in. So let's see. Anybody got any questions? I actually wasn't planning on being alone this long. We're reading through the comments. Don't give up on me yet. All right, so what else is going on in the world? Oh, so obviously you guys missed the last video. My last video didn't do very well, so I'll just talk my way through it. So the BMW obviously had the flat, didn't find it till I actually went an entire week without the video. I was going to take the BMW to Hohenwald, Tennessee, and the front tire went flat. Not the back tire this time, the front one. And when I went to leave, the front tire went flat, parked the bike up, and ended up having to drive there because I was already kind of running a little late, and I did not have time to load the Sportster down to drive it. And then obviously the Ninja wasn't running. So when I got back this last weekend, put the BMW up on the center stand and found out that the TPMS sensor had turned, and the TPMS sensor is kind of shaped like this, so it sits up against the bottom of the rim like this. And it had turned a little bit, so there was a gap, and all the air was escaping through that, and that's why the bike went flat. A little embarrassing because I literally could have got it home, straightened the sensor up to just the valve core, and aired it up and took it. But I guess it just wasn't in the cards. I guess I wasn't supposed to take the bike that weekend, so that's how it happened. So got the BMW fix. She's on air. I've rode her all week, and she's been great. I think I rode the Harley Monday and Tuesday. I rode the BMW Wednesday, Thursday, and today. So I got 2 working bikes. Working on a third. Dry Heat Doug, he's working on trying to get in. Well, there he is.
There we go.
Well, welcome in.
It takes a minute.
It does. I got a little echo on your end.
I always have that. Let me see if I can fix
Hang on, let me knock your echo down a little bit here. Hold on. Hang in there. Try now. Much better.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Test out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Echo's gone. Cool. Journey of Jerry, welcome in. Howdy to ya. All right, so Christian Biker says weekend after next is Father's Day. Okay. Not that I got any kids at home anymore that are doing the Father's Day thing, but that does mean that the Harley dealer here will be having a whiskey tasting for Father's Day. So that's something. And I might even make a butt roast if it ain't 100 degrees outside. All right, so Doug, tell us about your worst motorcycle trip that almost made you pull the plug on riding.
Worst motorcycle trip. Wow. That was going to be about 3 or 4 years ago. It was another attempt to go to Tennessee, which I am embarking on another one tomorrow. I made it all the way to the last rest stop in Texas where I twisted my ankle. And then I had to ride 14 hours back. So
awesome.
It was not a good couple of days. But even though it was like one of the worst, it was still good. It's like pizza. It's still pretty good.
Like pizza, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I've never had to take a long trip.
Background noise right here?
I hear something popping up, like pop-ups or something.
Okay. We can fix that.
Yeah. I've never had to make a long trip where I got hurt and had to ride. I think I had a smashed finger one time. Caught a fence post up in Illinois, and it was like an hour from home, so it wasn't that bad. But no, I've never been injured and had to ride home on an injury. I've rode home very tired before, mostly Forgotten Angels. But
Yeah,
Key Fob, welcome in. I got to get Key Fob in here sometime. Okay,
yeah.
Father's Day is
I'm
next weekend. Okay, we'll deal with it.
yeah, I am headed out. I believe tomorrow. We were thinking about heading out today, but we got kind of lazy, and I got a new hard box to put on the trunk of the electric light, so I'm gonna mess around with that tomorrow. And once we have that on there, we'll probably go to sleep and just leave at whatever time, early in the morning or late at night. Because New Mexico, let's face it, across the east end of Arizona and early part of New Mexico is kind of boring. So we don't really care if we see anything there or not. You
Oh
know.
yeah, me and Dana went. I want to say when was it? Oh, I got back from a deployment in '06, and we decided we're gonna go see a friend in Phoenix. And we drove from that time we were living in St. Louis. We went down, took a cruise on a ship, and got back from the cruise. And that's when we decided we were in Mobile, and we're like, yeah, let's take a drive. So we drove from Mobile all the way out to Phoenix, Arizona. And after we left Phoenix, we rode up north and went through up to almost to, well, actually, we did go to Oklahoma and then took Oklahoma back across. So that was a big trip. That's the cool thing about coming back from a cruise or from a deployment is you get back, you get all this leave built up, and you can say things like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get on the road for like 2 or 3 weeks and just stay on the road." And
Yeah.
you're still getting paid, still getting that paycheck, and you have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
That was good times. Some of the best road trips I ever took was when I was active duty. So
yeah,
yeah,
Key Fob, you can
definitely.
just you can jump in now. I mean, for an adventure, I mean for an interview anytime. For now, if you want to jump in now, man, go get on the Discord. On the Discord, go up to the link where it says interview volunteers or live stream volunteers, and the link is right there. So hop in.
Well, we do plan on making a stop in Amarillo. I've got a friend of mine that lives there, and she's volunteered up a room for us, so we're going to crash overnight at her house. And then
That works.
other than that, honestly, we don't have any plans other than just to go attend this wedding in Gallatin and then come back. We've got 2 weeks to get there and come back, so it's way more time than we need. It's gonna be
That
great.
Gallatin's gorgeous. Who was
Yeah,
it? One of my friends went to Gallatin a couple of years ago and took like the tram. That's Gallatin's the one with the tram, right? It's got the sky cable to go up the
I
mountain.
have no idea.
There's they've got like an old town down like a shopping like a touristy little alpine village, and there's a tram on a cable car that goes up into the mountain.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's the same one. Lala, welcome in. And Lala's here. Joey's not far behind. I bet you $1. We're just waiting. Um,
It takes a minute.
yeah.
Some people it takes a minute.
You know what's funny? So I think back like the trip me and Diana took, and we went out to Kentucky and went up to Ohio. On the way back, I mean it. We should have, by all reasons, we should have hated that trip because we got right outside of Indianapolis, and it just started pouring, and it poured for like 5 hours, and we finally got to Indianapolis, and it was like, yeah, we need to stop. And the rain was so heavy that I was trying to follow the yellow line. Next thing I knew, I was getting off on an exit, but the rain was so heavy I couldn't see I was getting off on an exit. So we get to the bottom of the exit, and I can see the red light, and I look right across the red light, and there's a Holiday Inn. I'm like, that's my sign. So we pulled in, but it was actually we were laughing. We were laughing our asses off. We were actually on the BMW. We were on the RT, and that bike was so good in the rain. But it was like we got to the bottom of the hill, and we're like, "Whoop, there's a hotel. I guess that means we need to stop." So we pulled up under the awning, and cool thing about BMWs when it rains, they look gorgeous. They're beautiful because they're clean. It's one of the few times that bike was ever
Yeah,
clean is when it rained. So it was a good time. It was a very good time.
that sounds like a blast. It really does.
It was.
I actually can't wait. That's the next project is putting that one of the two of them in the garage as a two-up bike.
So
So
does it have the removable luggage or is the luggage bolted on? Because that makes all the difference.
it's you know what I don't know. I got to go look. We should go look. I should take you with.
The
Let's go
the
look.
the removable luggage, man, makes it absolutely cool because you can take the luggage off, bring it in, and whatever goes into the luggage, wherever you pack into the luggage, goes with you. There's no getting out to the bike and trying to repack it. You pack them like suitcases, go out to the bike, snap them on, and you're gone.
This is air drying all the clothes we're gonna wear. It's always good to have the living room as your air dryer. You know,
Just a biker
and
girl, welcome in.
don't pay attention to that. That's probably not legal.
It's another coat hanger. I'm sure it's fine. Quick shoe. Thanks for coming in. I got your stuff going out in the mail. I keep forgetting to get the stuff out in the mail. I've got stuff in boxes. I've got it separated, and I just need to get it to the mailbox, and I'm slacking. So I'll get this stuff out sooner or later, maybe.
These are bolted on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, top loading. Oh, that's good too. Top loading is great. God, those are spacious though.
Yeah, on both of them, they're bolted on.
Yep, that works. So mine has you can get from, I can't remember the name of the company. I'll send it to you though. But it's basically bags, and once you stuff the bags full, if it goes into the bag, it'll go into the side bag. So basically, it's like a soft, like a canvas bag. You put all your stuff in that, and then you drop it right into the bag. So those are freaking awesome.
You're talking about these.
Yes, looks a lot like those. Yes,
Much like those.
good job, good job.
I took the advice from you, man.
They are very, very cool. Again, you get these little hints, that make the trip so much better. You don't think so much of them at the time, but once you start, using these little bitty hints that people give you, it makes the trip so much better. So much better.
Yeah. Let's get this thing back plugged in.
So keep on when you finish your salad, jump in.
But yeah, I've got the two bikes out there, and the one of them she's going to be learning to ride on, so she can scratch it up a little bit if she wants to over in the parking lot. And the other one's a project bike that starts up here on sometime during the week of the 23rd after we get back.
Cool. So she's going to take one of the RTs, and you're going to take the other one? That way you can take more stuff. I mean,
let's face it, she owns everything here now. She literally just moved in with me today.
oh, well, cool.
So we are now under the same roof.
Awesome. Dedication.
Yeah, she's really dedicated right now, sitting on the couch. Now she's looking at me and smiling like I'm an idiot. So yeah, she's definitely the one.
Is she making pizza? Is she making pizza?
Yeah, we should make a pizza. Oh, geez. I've run around enough. I'm already out of breath from today. So, but yeah. She no, on the 23rd is when we're coming. We'll be back on the 23rd. So, but we'll be back probably before then. Who knows? Once we get on the road, I know after a week or so, or week and a half of being out, the last couple of days, we're just gonna say probably let's just make it back. Let's just go. So.
Well, when we went to the Kentucky trip, so it started with, I came back from a deployment, and we're like, okay, she had just bought me this motorcycle up in Wisconsin. So we drove from St. Louis up to Wisconsin, picked up the bike, drove it from Wisconsin, Beaver Creek or Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, back to St. Louis. And I changed the oil in it the next day. And then the day after that, we took off on the bike. And we were just going to go out to the American Motorcycle Museum, the AMA, in Ohio, and come back because I'd always wanted to go. Well, then we get to Ohio, and they're like, hey, like right north of here, there's an amusement park, Kings Island. So then we're like, all right. So we drove up to Kings Island. We stayed in a hotel, took a cab over to Kings Island, got back the next day, and we're like, okay, we'll drive back to St. Louis now. And it's like, well, what's south of here? How far are we from the Blue Ridge Parkway? Let's go to the Blue Ridge Parkway. So we drove all the way down, went through Kentucky, did the Blue Ridge Parkway, went to another amusement park. I can't remember. It was like one of these little small amusement parks, probably like one of these Schlitterbahn type places. And before you know it, this little three-day trip we were going to take turned out to be like 7 or 8 days. And it was a blast. It was just so much fun. And then, of course, on the way back, we had to stop for an extra day in Indianapolis. But little unplanned things like that is what makes trips so cool and so fun. Things especially when you
That's
have the time to do them.
that's what I talked to her about. Is we're not planning anything, and because she was saying, "Oh, you can just order that and just have it sent to the hotel we're going to be at." And I said, "Which one are we going to be
We may
at?"
make it to
I
that
have no,
hotel. We may not make it
I
to
have
that
no
hotel.
idea. You
Yeah.
know? So, and I don't even know which direction we're going to start. We might go northeast from here, and it's in the Phoenix area. I live in Chandler, or it's going to be southeast. We might go actually down around through Tucson and then go up through White Sands, New Mexico, and stuff. I have no idea. So,
What's really cool is on a bike, you notice things differently. We drove up to New Mexico, and I can't remember where the heck we went in New Mexico, but it was in the middle of Albuquerque. So we're
okay.
riding up to it. We're in the car though, but I mean we're in a little sports car. But I never knew Albuquerque was in the middle of a crater,
Yeah.
and you're driving up to it, and there's nothing, and all of a sudden you top the rise, start heading down into it, and you're going down into a volcano, and it's like what the hell. So yeah, I love taking trips because you get to see things you would normally, I guess, take for granted. And when you can ride like that and you're not in a hurry, you can look at things. It's just so cool. Like there was, I think it was in New Mexico. We passed this place called Whistling Rock, and it's just in the middle of the desert. And if you stop and go up on this little rise, when the wind blows, there's all these little pock holes in the rocks, and there's like thousands of these holes. And when the wind blows, they all whistle, and they play different
Oh
because
wow.
each hole is a different depth. It's different tunes, it's different notes that it's playing, and it is just so cool. So if we'd have been in a hurry, we'd have never stopped, never got to see it, you know. But moral of the story: yes, take your time.
I just had to mute to ask her. You ever heard of Whistling Rocks in New Mexico? And she said no. That's where she's from, is New Mexico.
It's between Phoenix and Albuquerque, so
Yeah, somewhere.
it's
Well, we'll have to go there. We're gonna have to check it out. So we might have to leave later in the day. Like 4 a.m. instead of 3.
I know I can't remember. I think it was before we got to Phoenix. We stayed in some hotel again. It was like the hotel I think maybe had 10 rooms in it. It was just on the side of the highway somewhere, all one level, nothing there. And when we came out, we get there in the middle of the night, can't really see anything. We go to leave the next morning, and there's all these blooming cactuses around the hotel, and it's like I didn't see any of this shit
No.
last night.
So which direction were you coming into Phoenix from? You said
So we
from
came,
Albuquerque.
yeah, we came across 10, went through El Paso, went up
Okay.
towards Phoenix from that way. So that way,
So
yeah,
you probably stopped in Casa Grande. That was probably about where you were at.
could have been. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was in 2006. May have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the end of
There are a lot.
2006. September. It
There's
actually was September
places
2006.
like that there.
But I loved it. It was so much fun. I know it was back when we got to Phoenix, and one of the first showings of Wicked was playing in the theaters.
Okay.
I've got to figure out a way to let people in without having to do that. Biker girl, welcome in. Oh, she's froze.
What?
You're froze.
Oh,
It's not showing your smile. This is so wrong.
It's showing only. Well, mine is showing only smile. A smile, and
Yeah,
she's got a
yours is
thumb stuck in her eye.
everyone's frozen now.
No, you're good.
Oh, it's a
I'm
Starlink thing.
good. You're good. Who's good?
Let me see. I can tell she's out on a balcony somewhere, and she's drinking her vodka lemonade. That's what I can see. That's your avatar. And I'm calling it avatar because it's a picture to us. It's not actually video. Maybe it'll unfreeze. Maybe she's got your what's it? She's got a buffer. She's got a buffer. Let's read through the comments here. Let's see if anybody else has popped in. So Journey Jerry popped in. Everybody's talking about pizza. Jerry has been on one of my lives, and it's been probably 3 years since he's been on. But he has actually. There she is. She's moving. But yeah, Jerry, you got to get back on sometime.
Dude, Jerry, you are a hell of a man. we've had some pretty good calls. I'm not going to talk about what he's up to, but he's doing some pretty good things.
He always does pretty good stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely staying busy.
All right, biker girl. Up, she's froze again.
Man.
Man, you'll get there. You'll get there.
Can you hear me?
I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me
you.
okay?
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
I can hear
Okay.
you.
Well, all right, I'm gonna go inside and maybe that'll be the difference. How's everybody's day? I just got home from work.
Welcome to you. Yes, I see that you're in your office clothes. Got your office hair on with your office clothes.
Boo.
So we can hear you. So, well, tell us about your worst trip, or you can wait till you get your
My
video fixed.
worst trip, I'm gonna say, um, when I had first started riding, so it was in my first couple years of riding, and my husband had decided he thought he might want to ride with me. Stupidly, he had thought he might want to ride with me. So we both had, please don't gag on this one, we had matching 100th anniversary edition Sportsters. I had the 883, he had the 1200, that silver black paint scheme. We took we were living in Minnesota, Wisconsin at the time, and we did the circle tour around Lake Superior. And it the rain chased us the whole time. The rain just was right there behind us, and we are totally not really prepared for this. You know, we've got our bikes packed just enough. We get into Canada, the roads are just not as nice, to be honest. And long distances between the fuel stops. So we make it to Beaver, Canada, I shit you not, and they're out of gas. So the whole town is standing there at the pumps. We're like 20 deep in line, and they come out and they're like, sorry, folks, gas won't be here till tomorrow. And I looked at my husband, I left my bike there, and I ran across the street, and I got one of the last rooms in the hotel at the Beaver Inn. And I think it might have been equivalent to, 20, 25 US dollars at the time. Uh, my husband will say it was a good hotel, but really I thought it was kind of charming. I mean, it was really old, but it was cute. And the guys like park right in the back, right in front of the doors. We've got security, we've got cameras, we'll keep an eye on it. I'll bring you out a bucket and some water. You can wash your bikes off. Bikes like those don't deserve to be dirty. So we washed our bikes up. We got a really good night's sleep. We were in line for gas first thing in the morning. And that him through it in just under 4 days. And that was more than he could handle. So that ended his sportster riding days, and he didn't have a bike for about, well, let's see, that was 03, 04 when we did the circle tour. I bought him another bike in 17. I got him a street glide, which I'm riding right now.
Oh,
Wait,
so
wait,
you
wait, wait,
have.
wait. Wait, I got him a street glide, which I'm riding now. How does that work out?
Well, I crashed my bike, and he's not a rider. He's not a rider. He doesn't love it. He only does it to spend time with me. Yeah, it was never his thing. So yeah, I bought the bike figuring, well, I'll always have a backup, and if he wants to go out, I got him.
hey,
I'm
hey,
still not
if you
clearing
ever
up
get,
here, am I?
Dave,
You're
if
not
you ever,
moving, but
if
we
you,
can hear you. So yeah,
if
that's
you
normally
get
how
your
women
bike,
do things. You buy
you get
things
your
for them
street.
that you really want yourself, and you just keep them. So my wife's like, you didn't want a hummingbird feeder? I guess I'll just use it. It's fine. No problem. No, it's that's
uh,
when you find out how dedicated you are to riding a motorcycle. It's going on a long trip, going on a 3 or 4 day trip, and that's when you decide whether you really love it or this is just not for you.
no
And
kidding.
if it rains at the same time, that's the deal breaker or the money maker. And it's I don't know. That's when you find out if you're in a storm and you start giggling uncontrollably, that's for you. If you're in a storm and you're cussing and screaming, it's like I gotta find a hotel as soon as possible. That's when it's like maybe this ain't for you. But you're park it up, take it out for the weekend. That can be your thing. But yeah, you've definitely
Yeah,
got to be dedicated to take long trips because you never, especially this is America. You cross a county line and the weather changes. So
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I've decided if you're the kind of person that you're driving through a storm and it is so bad that y'all are just going to believe this and you hit record on your phone or your GoPro to get better video, yeah, maybe this is for you.
Yeah, that's when you're a YouTuber. When you write into something and you're like, "Oh my god, I got to get this." You're a YouTuber. It's
Like they're never gonna believe this.
yeah. So no shit, there it was.
it
I saw one
was really
today,
cool.
and I thought
It
it
was a
was
horrible trip, but it was a really cool trip too. And I'll just say that we saw a moose with a calf, and I made him. I literally we pulled over and I said, "Hey, babe, you know what'd be really cool is if we chased that moose in the woods and got some closer picture." And and he did.
get over there by the fluffy cow. This would be great.
He came back. He's like, "Wait a minute."
You were
If it
cool if
starts
you
running
ride
at you,
that
it only
moose.
wants you to pet it. Go ahead.
You
He's
get up on the
like,
freeway, man. I'm gonna get the moose under you. Okay.
If it starts running at you, just go, "Who's
Jump
a
down
good
and
boy?
hang
Who's a
on.
good boy?"
he's smarter than that.
I'm not.
No, I saw one today. This guy was like, and you know the guy was a YouTuber and a real writer because he opens a video with, "You guys aren't going to believe this. Check it out." And when he pans out, his whole helmet's covered in blood and feathers. And when he goes down to the fairing looks like somebody just dumped a bucket of paint on it. And he's
Oh
like,
man.
"Yeah, man, this goose just jumped in the air, man. And I hit it going like 50." And I'm like, anybody else would have been throwing their guts up because he was just covered in guts and blood. And
Oh
he's like, "Oh,
god.
this is so cool. Check it out." So, yeah. I,
Ouch.
I don't know how cool that is.
well, my wife, back when she first started riding with me, and this was back in, gosh, 2002 maybe, I had gotten a Honda Sabre. And she was riding with me, and all of a sudden I hear something kind of funky from the back, and then she starts tapping my shoulder. And I turn around, and she had hit, and I don't know what the hell she hit, but it exploded up the side of her helmet, and it covered like this much of her helmet all the way up, and it was like green and white. This She hit some bug, and I'm assuming it had to either have been a giant grasshopper or maybe a cicada. I don't know, but it just exploded because on that stretch of 40, you can do 80. And but whatever she hit, it looked like somebody just spit on her helmet. It just hocked a loogie on her.
Ew.
And if that happened today, I definitely would have got it on the GoPro before I helped her get the helmet off. But oh yeah, it was a hot mess. But she
And
was
now
telling me
you
earlier
remind
that
me
was
of
her
it.
worst trip. So
The memory comes back. Ah.
It does. It does. Oh, remember that one time?
she says it was yellow, not green. So oh yeah. But yeah, it was. We had to stop on the side of the road, and she's over here, of course, making the cartoon sounds, and I'm trying to wipe it off on the grass. But it was pretty bad.
Like time he's putting butter on toast. Remember that bug on the on Interstate 40 that you hit?
Oh God.
She says so. So we've gotten into. We were coming back one time. We got right north of Birmingham, and it had been raining for probably 4 or 5 hours already. But we have very good rain gear. I had a lot of rain gear donated from the Navy. I say donated from the Navy, but we were staying pretty dry. But all of a sudden, it just got so heavy we couldn't see. So we tried to pull off under an underpass, and the rain was actually harder because trucks were flying by us. And I'm like, nope, nope. We'll just keep driving. So I got behind an 18-wheeler, and all I could see was lights. I couldn't see anything on the road. Couldn't see yellow lines. Couldn't see white lines. Nothing. But I could see the red marker lights on the trailer of the truck. So we're just following this truck for probably 30 miles. And the rain kind of let up a little bit. So we're like, okay, we're going to get around this truck and go. And as soon as I came around the truck, all of a sudden I saw the edge of a bridge. And all of a sudden the rain got harder. So real quickly I broke and got back behind the truck. But at one point between Birmingham and what's it called? I think it's called Egypt. Egypt, Alabama. I think that's the name of it. But I looked over, and there's a tornado on the right side of the road. There's a tornado on the left side of the road. And I'm
Wow.
like, well, we're not stopping. We're just going to keep on going. But I was worried. She says she's never worried when I'm riding because she trusts me to know what to do. Sucker. But all I'm doing is like, head down, let's go. Head down, let's go. And I respond well under pressure. But yeah, it doesn't mean I'm not nervous. It just means I'm just going to keep going because what other options do you have? You know what I'm talking about, Doug. You're just going to go.
Yeah,
There's nothing else you can do.
similar.
You don't have time to be scared. You just got to go. The worst thing you could do is stop moving. So,
Yeah.
and then of course, we got closer to home, and where you get off the highway, it's probably another 12 miles to our house. As soon as we got off the highway, rain stopped, sun came out, and I'm not kidding. We were probably in the rain for 6 hours straight. But yeah, it never fails. No matter how bad the rain is, as soon as you get home, the rain stops. So, good times.
I know one of the worst that I went through was a stretch of Texas between Amarillo and New Mexico. Uh, Wind was blowing really, really hard. There was lightning everywhere. This was decades ago, and the gusts were hitting me and blowing me in the other lane, and I just wanted to get out of it. By the time I got to the gas station in New Mexico, it was completely behind me.
Stand by,
Yeah.
everybody.
So the Faraday effect is the cage, and so you're inside a vehicle. Lightning hits your vehicle, goes into the ground. It misses you, but on a bike, it hits you in the head.
I lost you for about 30 seconds, so
Oh, okay.
it actually faded out.
Let's just say there was lightning, and if you're riding a bike, you don't want to be in lightning because it hits you in the head.
I will take your word for it. So I've got you, but
The
I still
Faraday
haven't
cage
got.
effect is not in play.
No, I still haven't got Biker Girl back yet.
I know. I don't know. Okay, I'm
I
gonna
can see
pop
your
out and pop back
microwave or your
in.
TV in your
Oh,
fireplace.
No, stop.
I can see your fireplace. That's all up. She's
oh,
gone.
yep. She probably just tried. She's gonna try again.
We'll let her try again. Let's see. Okay, first part of this was brought to you by Old School Customs. Next part of the show, let's see. Law Tigers. On a motorcycle, in trouble, want to sue somebody, call 1-800 Law Tigers. Or whatever their number is. I don't know. There she is.
Need something to hold your registration in? They'll give it to you.
Yes, I have it in my trunk. Actually, when I open my trunk, it's in the very top. So
Yep.
I've got sunglass wipes. I've got pins. I've got. She gave me hats. I've got a couple of the shirts are so cool. It's a black shirt with a white and gray tiger logo on it. It is so cool, and they're soft
Nice.
too. Love it. Call them if you haven't even had a wreck. Tell you what, the girl here, her name is Colleen in Mississippi, and she sets this giant inflatable tiger up on the side of the road. And whenever you see it, you know that's where she is because she's the only one in Mississippi. So she always gives you stuff when you stop. All right, biker girl, you're back. Welcome. Now we can see you and you're moving and
Thank you
everything,
for having me. Thank
bobbing
you.
around. So happy to have you in.
Thank you.
All right. So what's going on with your life? What do you hate and what are you drinking? That's a bigger than normal glass. You must have had a hell of a day.
It's been a week. Let me just say,
I feel your pain.
it, it has been a week and it's not over. So my weekend is volunteering tomorrow, and helping a friend move on Sunday. So you know how it is.
Well,
I have a pickup.
you just get pulled right into all the crap. I mean, hell.
Yeah, yeah, I do. But I have a 3-day weekend next weekend, the 13th, 14th, and 15th. And I have Juneteenth off the following week because, it's a holiday.
Is it a
So
holiday
I can't
again?
complain. It's a holiday here.
Okay, cool. Cool. It's
I
California
get paid
holiday.
for it. I'm not going to argue. I've never once had that off in my
Cool.
life before.
Yep. I think the next holiday I get off is going to be 4th of July. So, which is different than normal places I usually work. Normal places, so I'm in maintenance. So normally a holiday that means you get to work and everybody else stays home. Cool. Everybody's home. Let's work on some shit. Here you actually get to take the day off on a holiday. So, I'll take it. This is awesome.
No, we have to volunteer for the 4th of July, and they can't do it all on one day. So it's Saturday, we have the fireworks, and on Sunday, we have the parade. So it's a whole weekend of volunteering, voluntolding.
I have done enough volunteering in my life. I plan to never do it again. Um, so yeah,
I'll be doing plenty of volunteering going forward. We were asked to turn in like a success story about your team and how you work so perfectly together. Well, they didn't say specifically this team, so I turned in a story from like 12 years ago, and they're like, no. You have failed as an assignment.
Be like, but I
I
hate
do.
this team. You guys suck. I mean,
I don't hate though. We just don't really have that camaraderie. I turned in a really cool assignment. I was like, hey, I was on the team. We planned, we prepared, we executed a full-on home remodel for a Tuskegee Airmen in Duluth, Minnesota. Joe Gomer, a living legend, and they just released that movie Red Tails, and the George Lucas Studios actually gave me a film to play for the volunteers about what went on behind the scenes of making it, showing Joe on site, being part of talking to the actors and then thanking them for volunteering and stuff. That was a really cool volunteer event.
so
This
I
was
have never
not.
heard of this Red Tails movie. What is it about?
Red Tails is about the Tuskegee Airmen, the black pilots from World War II, and they were directed, you will protect the bombers, even if it means letting them take you out. You are going to protect this bomber at all costs. And they did.
That was everybody. So it's not like the other weird one they've got out now that basically makes it look like. Yeah, we won't even get into it. But
Yeah.
there's just so many of these weird stories they try to make up, and they make up history, and it's like stuff that never happened, and it's like, come on, tell the story like it's supposed to be told, which is still a cool story. Just like I tell people, anybody that deploys, it doesn't matter if you deployed and you end up being a PX Ranger. You deployed, you just were on the ship the whole time. You deployed and you did security at the base the whole time. You deployed. That's your story. You did more than 99.5% of the population will do. So be proud of it. And
I'm going to go one further. And, you signed up. You signed up, you made it, and you put your name on that dotted line because 99% of people don't do that.
yep, yep, I'll go there.
Yeah.
We'll go there.
What, what
All right.
was
So
that big smile?
you're behind, biker girl. So tell us the next dumb, stupid thing you did on a motorcycle.
How am I behind? I just told like a great stories.
You were like 30 minutes behind, actually almost an hour behind
You're
getting
right.
here.
Okay.
So and then you were hiding most of the time. You know what? Know what she really did? She just started it, went inside, had a couple of drinks, and said, "Oh, I don't know what's going on. Come back connection."
Yeah, this is my third one.
I know. See, she admits it. Told you.
Okay, stupid trip number two is, let me think about this one. Um, so I moved to California and I'm totally new to the area. Lane splitting is foreign to me. I don't have a GPS. Yeah, I don't have a GPS. I moved from northern Wisconsin, like two horse town. I've never really ridden with anyone before. My only time going out on a group ride was this rally they put on. It was not, I mean, everybody was just doing their own thing, and I just, I'm awkward. I don't mesh well with other riders. I ride on my own. So I get out here and I'm trying to ride on my own, but there's so many toll roads, and I just can't figure out how the fuck to get home without going on these toll roads. And finally, um, I did this huge ride. I bought that, the ultra limited, and it had GPS, but it kept trying to send me on the toll road. I'm trying to go around, and it took me forever. But I went all the way across the mountains to Palm Desert, around the Salton Sea, back up to Riverside, California, dropped down through LA, and came back into Orange County. And the whole thing about that ride was, one, I was just unprepared for how many cars there are in California, the toll roads, and the lane splitting. Those people scared the shit out of me. So from that alone, I took a class as a one of those meetup groups as a newer rider, and I was like, hey, I'm not new, but I'm new to this bike. I'm new to the area, and I actually took a class on learning how to lane split. I had to take a class on learning how to lane split through the toll road, so you don't have to pay. And then and then how to set my stupid GPS, so that I just didn't know how to use it, but that was my second. It was a long day for a brand new bike, getting used to it, and I put on over 600 miles.
I don't think I've ever gone through a toll road in California.
Uh, you know what? I love them because they're really pretty. They're maintained nicer. They cut at least 40 minutes of travel off, so I love that part. But oh my God, getting through the toll roads is expensive. So if you're on a bike, you can split through the toll reader and it won't pick up your license plate.
Well, in Florida, it does. You know what's funny about Florida, though? It actually takes you longer on the toll roads than it does just taking the back roads. So the toll road doesn't cut
Oh
any time
no.
off. So they have like side roads that aren't tolled. Then they have the regular toll road, which is tolled. And then they have the express lane toll, which costs more. But the express lane toll backs up. And then the toll road backs up. And if you take one of these
Hmm.
side roads, like around Tampa, you just fly through because everybody's up on the fucking toll.
Gosh.
So you save time. Yeah,
Joyce and
you go
I,
down the shipyard road. Millie says her leg is fully regrown. That's what happens down in Australia.
Millie,
Good girl. I had faith in
show
you. I knew you could do it.
us.
Yeah, the toll roads in around Tampa are absolutely stupid, ridiculous. And
I remember crazy biker bitch and I were at Biketoberfest, and we were trying to not take a toll road, but it ended up being a toll road anyways. And I was freaking out just a little bit, like, oh shit, how am I gonna pay this? Whatever. It was so inexpensive. By the time we were done, I was on it for so long. I thought my bill was gonna be like, bazillions of dollars. And they're like, you owe us $13.96. Shit.
I
I'm
think
gonna take toll roads every time I go to Florida.
my last trip to Florida, I stayed off the expresses and stuff, and I think my whole for the entire weekends for 5 days down there was like $3 and something.
Right?
So
Yeah, it was
yeah,
so
but if you get up
reasonable.
on the super toll, some of them are like $4 a pass. So it's stupid.
And we tried lane splitting, and like a cop actually pulled over in front of us and flashed his lights, like,
Not in
no.
Florida.
So
No, not in
we put
Florida.
our heads down. We're like, okay, all right, you got us. It was stupid.
Millie says, "How's my queen? Just a biker girl." Yeah,
Love you, Millie.
yeah. She doesn't talk to me like that. What's special about you? Blonde hair and boobs. See, that's whatever. I don't care. Keep your boobs. I don't care.
Okay, okay.
No,
You
I
guys have
love
both
Florida,
been
but
frozen up on my screen, so I'm going to restart this thing.
oh, you look great over
What?
here.
They've been
We
frozen.
can see you, Doug.
Yeah.
You guys have both been frozen for like the last 5 minutes.
Oh,
Are
okay.
you serious?
Yeah,
Tell me that at least I look good frozen.
Wait, what did
I'll be
she
right
probably
back.
froze grabbing her boobs? That's you'd be like this for 5 minutes.
I didn't have them both. It was just the one.
Oh, well. Oh yeah, that's right. Because you're being an alcoholic with the other one.
I
Hey,
am.
let me remember things the way I want to remember them. Okay. She,
So what was your story? Tell me all about it.
Millie says, "Have you seen that girl? She's a model. She's turning me gay as shit." Oh, she says she turned me gay, but shh. Oh, I'm not supposed to tell you. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
don't
Okay,
don't
Millie,
tell. Don't
I didn't
tell.
tell her.
It's
It's fine.
between me and you, girl. It's between me and you.
So
My
anyway,
pillion seed is coming in the mail. It'll be here momentarily. Your leg is all grown back. We can go. But you gotta hold on.
she's got to hang on to. Yeah, you're such a bad girl. Anyway,
Please.
yeah, I've seen some of your videos on Instagram. I know what you do.
Hey now.
Hey, yeah, you and yeah. Anyway, so what was your question? No, that one
What
with
was
you
your
and
story? What
Biker
was your
Bitch that
story?
took me
Tell
by
me all about it.
surprise. I was like, what the? I won't tell anybody if you're not friends with her. You didn't see it, but it was funny. Don't get that
It
girl
was a
drunk;
good
she'll
time.
get you in trouble.
It was a really good time that you'll never remember with friends you'll never forget.
Millie says you get special treatment. Okay, cool. I'll allow it. All right. So
Now I want to hear about Millie's ride. Tell me.
Millie's ride. Let's see. So Millie was riding an old PW50 through the sand dunes in I don't even know what part of Australia she's in. So let's say she was outside Queensland. And it was a bad sandstorm, so she was following a road train to keep the sand off of her, and got a tarantula thrown into her face. and it was one of the venomous ones. Luckily, a golden eagle swooped down and ate it off of her face. Unluckily, but with most of her nose also got bitten off, so
Oh
that
no.
was the downside. However, she's obviously a fast healer, so she's grown it back now. So, and then she lived happily ever after, I guess.
Oh, Millie. I want your regeneration properties.
She must be a superhero. Nah, she's a surfer. Of course, she's a superhero. Let's see. I've had a bunch of trying and testy ride. Obviously, I had the tornado ride. I had the ride almost about a year and a half ago now, where I fell on the ice and got the concussion.
Yeah. Yes.
I had the ride where some dude pulled out in front of me and I T-boned him doing about 45 miles an hour. Um, I drove into a gate and I'm missing half of my left kneecap.
Ouch.
And what's funny, I'll start having problems with my knee. Man, what's wrong with my knee? And then I have to remind myself, oh yeah, I actually smashed my kneecap. Let's see.
So
I
I do have a question then. With women, when we have these crashes, everybody's like, so do you think that maybe you just really shouldn't be on a motorcycle? Do they do that to you?
I've had people tell me I'm stupid for getting back on a motorcycle. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's pretty equal.
No,
Um,
I get that too. I get that too, and I get, but they'll be like, well, maybe this is too big for you.
well, I got told, and I'll admit, man, there's some times that I've thought maybe I should go to a smaller bike. Yeah, I'm over it fast. Um, Millie says she has Wolverine powers. No, I think there's an innate. Oh, Doug, you've got an echo.
Working on it.
Let me see if I can find. Hang on. Let me turn your echo control back on. Okay. No, I think it's just like a natural bit. It's just like women always, reach for their kids when they go to fall, or and men are like, well, if they break something, they'll heal. I think women are men are protective of women, because some of them nastily so. I'll admit it, but once you see them ride well, I think they get over it. But no, I got the same comments, especially after I broke my ribs and dislocated my shoulder. People are like, "Why are you getting back on a motorcycle? You're stupid. You shouldn't be riding motorcycles, man. Obviously, you don't have the training." And I'm like, "I'm gonna ride." And then after my last wreck, everybody's like, "Why are you getting back on a motorcycle, man? You shouldn't ride when it's this cold. You should only ride when it's warm and there's no snow on the ground and it's not raining and whatever." And I'm like,
And there's rainbows and butterflies.
"Yeah."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then that's not when I ride. I mean, if you take into account, so again, I've ridden since I was probably 10 years old, so that's been 45 years of riding. I've only had three wrecks that actually took me out of commission for any amount of time. So I think I'm doing pretty good. My record is pretty good. My record is better on the motorcycle than most people are in cars.
100%. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I'm doing pretty good. Millie says she's gonna get her leg eaten for comment. Okay, video. Get you a GoPro. I will send you a GoPro. I've got like a few extra ones. Yeah, that'll definitely be worth the time. So no, I think I get it. I saw a girl today riding on Route 66, and she rode literally like straight into the dirt and wrecked the bike,
Oh
going
no.
like 30 miles an hour. And here's the clincher: she's a big YouTuber. She's big on Instagram, and a normal person would have watched that video and said that girl should not be on that bike. It's way too big for her. However, I've seen this same girl get on racetracks and do 100 miles an hour. So why did she wreck at 30 miles an hour in the sand?
Other shit going on.
It happens. You get distracted, you get pulled to the side. So yeah, I mean I think probably because where she was, and Doug can probably, and you can probably associate with this too. You reach a point sometimes where you've been riding for a few hours and you get dehydrated and you need a drink and you've got to stop and your brain stops working for a while. And I think that's
I
what
did
happened
that
to her.
last year. I did, and some of it's age, some of it is an age thing, but
What do you mean?
I've been,
What are you talking about?
Who are
fucking
you
old.
people?
So,
How do I get in here?
fucking old, and I pulled up to a gas station, and I was exhausted. And it was this and it was that, and I forgot to put the kickstand down. I got off the bike. I got off of the bike. And it sometimes it happens. Does that mean that I should be riding? No, but it was just another good reminder, and that's also why I have crash bars. So
That's legit.
I'm still hung up on this age thing. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
yeah,
Millie says no. She means okay. So what she had said earlier, she says the one that let me get my leg eaten for content. She says I watched her get her leg eaten by a great white shark and recorded it. It did nothing to help. Well, that's because the ghost of Steve Irwin was there, and I was kind of frightened of the ghost of Steve Irwin because I mean he's always says let nature take its course. So he says don't interfere.
he doesn't say that anymore, Millie.
Crikey, one bite could be my life. You could be mad, but that's
Right?
just what nature is. You gotta let nature be nature.
You've got that voice nailed.
Yeah,
I'm a
You
I'm a
got
good
it.
mimic. I'm a very good mimic. I do voice content, so yeah.
you do.
Yeah, I work on. I do voice content
I do
on.
do.
Yeah,
Do
I have
do
a
do.
backstage
Do.
thing on backstage, which does
I do
voiceovers
do do
and
you do.
little commercials
Wait,
and
what kind of backstage?
backstage. The voice. I don't even know now. Why do you hate me? God, I thought we were friends. What the hell?
You're Buffy.
Millie says age is just a number.
Age is just a number.
Oh, she's freezing up now. I mean, she's going to get another
Me?
drink.
No.
And you have the weirdest look on your face. I need a screen grab of
Do
this
I?
face. Oh God, this is beautiful.
It's working on mine. She's not frozen on mine.
It's you, Rainy.
How well when you freeze on mine, that also means you're frozen on YouTube. So
Shit.
Yeah, that
awesome.
might.
You guys.
And you have this dumb look on your face like this.
It sounds like me too.
I would freeze it.
Do the
Oh wait, hang
thumbnail
on.
next time.
It's like my everyday. That's my everyday. I look around at work. I'm like,
How many
oh.
bike wrecks have you guys been in? Jeez.
How many wrecks have I been in? I had a wreck in '04, and I had two last year.
I screen
Yeah.
grabbed it just in time. I'll send it to you later.
Okay, please.
It's a great picture.
It'll make it my profile pic. I had two wrecks last year. It was not a kind year to me at all.
I parked my first home built frame. I built a frame in high school. First home built frame motorcycle. Parked it in the front end of the Honda Accord pulling out from the grocery store. That was when I was 17. And the only other one that I've had was my own driveway in southern Indiana. I had a gravel driveway. I was leaving the house to go to it was a club meeting, and and I had to go to Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and she was on the ex-wife was on the back. We hit the gravel. We were going towards the guy wire of the utility pole in our driveway, and instead of hitting that guy wire, which would have really hurt, I laid the bike down, grabbed her, and threw her up top of me. So, but yeah, just stuff that normal, no big deal, not thinking about it, and that's what caused the wrecks was just thought. Just wasn't thinking about what I was doing. Who comes off of their grass onto gravel and expects to turn on a heritage Softail? you know, it's not going to happen. It happens a lot when you're trying to play around, but when you're not thinking about it, it's not a good idea.
Oh, there have been times I forgot I pulled into a gas station on these long trips. I forgot to put my legs down, or went to reach for the ground and couldn't feel my feet because my legs had gone to sleep and I didn't realize it, or gone to squeeze in the clutch and my hand was too cold and I couldn't feel the clutch or the brake, It's funny. Most of your really bad things happen when you're doing like 5 miles an hour. So
Thank God, because
Yeah.
otherwise it would hurt a lot worse.
well, I'm lucky that the worst things that ever happened to me on a motorcycle happened after I got into gear. I think back to when me and my stepbrother, he had a Honda 454, and we would ride that thing in tennis shoes, cut off jeans, no shirt, and aviator sunglasses.
Oh my God.
And we would do 120 miles an hour up and down the road because we thought we would go so fast the hair on my legs would whip my legs and give me welts. And and never wrecked, because when you're young and dumb, you're invincible, man. You can wreck that bike at 120 and get up. I've seen it on TV. People do it all the time, you know. So luckily though,
I see the look. The dogs barking, everything going by.
is that your?
Oh God dang.
Oh, she's froze again.
What?
You're froze again,
Man?
man. Millie says the surf was terrible today. That's the only reason she came to watch this. So I
Aww.
made the
Lucky
ghost of
us.
Steve Irwin gave you bad ways where you'd have to come watch us do this. That's it. There you are. Now you're moving.
It was the curse from the discussion last week of all the animals. That's the story. The animal story. That was it.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever makes it work.
They're all swimming against the tide, so the surf's gonna be bad.
There you go.
They're
Steve
out
Irwin
together.
sent the whales in to block the waves. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I saw this weird thing about some tribe in the Pacific Islands that when whales wash up on the beach, they all run out, cut holes in it, and they bury themselves up to their neck in these whale carcasses, and um,
Gross.
and they stay for like days. It's like this ritual they did, and it was to it said it would bring them closer to God. What it actually was the gases escaping like would like rob oxygen from their brain and make them hallucinate. Yeah, I don't know why I just thought of that all of a sudden, but it was yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to find that video again because it was so gross.
You watch some really weird shit.
It pops up. Well, no
Yeah. At
no
no
I'm
time in my life have I ever wanted to go bury myself in a big fish.
I'm eclectic. I like
It'll
to
make you
bury
high.
myself in
Yeah.
anyway.
It'll make you high. I prefer to drink myself. It just
Yeah. No. You know what? I'll
No,
stick with
I like
tools.
eclectic stuff, and it's like this hard to believe stuff that you watch, and it's like you'll never believe this. You're right, I won't. I'm watching.
and
You
then
suckered me right
yeah,
in. I'm going.
I
Oh my
must
god,
be
this is so gross. You'll never believe it. Well, now I gotta watch. Hell,
I can't watch it because Discovery Channel has Shark Week and it's all supposed to be factual, right? But then they did this whole big show about the megalodon, and I was like, holy shit, there's megalodons? This is real? And I didn't know until afterwards. My husband's like, no, you know that's, totally false or fucking
they
video. It's made up. And I was like, why would they do this?
they did the same thing with the mermaids. There was like a year there.
Right?
They had a producer that was working there, and he did all this clickbait stuff. He did mermaids. He did all this stuff washed ashore. He did underground civilization or underwater cities and stuff. And then at the very end of the show, you kind of let on that it was fake. The mermaid one pissed off so many people. People were canceling their Discover subscriptions because so many people were pissed off about it because they hyped it up to be so big and all this secret footage and people they're in a diving bell and there's handprints around the windows and people were watching. And at the end of the show, they didn't even just like crash it to make it like softly dumb. They crashed it and made it absolutely stupid because like
Oh
even the
no.
people that were in the show were starting to make fun of it. And it was like, and people were so pissed off though that they canceled their subscriptions and they fired the guy, like immediately that week. They're like, "You're done." But why Discover would even let him get away with it? Because Discover was a scientific show. You wouldn't watch it to think there was stuff on there that would be fake.
Exactly. And that's why, like, I believed them. And then I felt stupid, well, that's so stupid. No, there's no megalodons.
Well,
Come
well,
on.
they did another one that was narrated by Mila Jovovich about aliens, and that one too. At the end of it, it just got stupid, and you can still find that one on like YouTube. But it was like an hour and a half long documentary about these aliens and these alien abductions and stuff. And at the end,
Hey,
it turns out that it was all fake. So I was like, yeah, it was not a good thing. Discovery has never, they haven't recovered from that still. Discovery now is synonymous with fake reporting, just like
yep,
CNN. Yeah, too
yep.
bad.
Oh, he threw the CNN word
Just like
in.
CNN.
Well,
Ooh.
Would that
again,
be fake news?
CNN
Is that
used to
what you
be
said?
the basis of news. And once they started reporting fake news, everybody's like, well, I ain't watching it. You know, same thing with
You know
MSNBC. It
what?
used to be news only. You know, you want business news, you watch MSNBC. And then once they started doing all the fake stories, now nobody watches it. It's like
You know
it
the
just became a
funniest thing I
joke.
ever, funniest thing I ever convinced somebody of that was completely untrue. Have you ever done that? All right,
Yeah.
you want me to go first or you? I convinced my ex-wife that the windmills, the electric generator windmills in Ocotillo on Interstate 8 were fans. They were giant fans. So when we were stationed in San Diego, stationed at Coronado, when it gets too cold, they turn the fans on to blow the warm air from the desert into San Diego. And she would tell people, oh,
No.
those were fans, and nobody said anything to her for like 2 years.
No. Oh my God.
Finally, one day she walked in, she was really mad.
Oh, that's hilarious, actually. And every
These
time I drive through there, I'm going to remember that story.
these things are like $1 million a piece. They put all kinds of taxes into those just to keep it warm in San Diego.
Dude, I was in the Navy. If you're not telling a lie to somebody, you're not living.
Yes.
We would
Yeah.
so like I mean we had things like so there was this thing called the HT punch. So on the ship, HT is a hull tech.
Oh,
And hull technicians are usually big welders. They mess with steel all the time. They're burly. They're iron workers.
and,
So
and
you'd
fuck
send
you,
the
I
new
fallen
guy.
for this. Okay.
Yeah. So you'd send the new guy down to the damage control shop to get an HT punch. And so they'd come down there. It's like, hey, I'm looking for an HT punch. Can I have an HT punch there? They're like, yeah, sure. They'd punch him in the chest. He's like, no, really, I need an HT punch. And they'd punch him again. He's like, no, I'm looking for an HT punch. They'd punch him again. And about that time, the chief would usually go, okay, that's enough. But so they have where the propeller sticks out of the back of the ship is called the shaft seal. That's what seals the water out on the shaft. And you give a guy a loaf of bread and say you got to go feed the shaft seals, and it's like what? He goes, yeah,
Oh
you got to go down
no.
this elevator, you got to go down this shaft, and at the bottom there's shaft seals. And you'd have him down there, and he'd call back up. There's nothing down here. You got to wait for him because maybe they're back in that hole. Crawl back in there and see if they're back there because it would say shaft alley, and they would say shaft seals. He's like, you got to crawl back in there to find him. You need to crawl back there. And you'd have this dude crawling in total pitch darkness. Once he got all the way to the back, we had this one MC that was like a sound powered phone. You stick the edge of the speaker in and go, roar! And then the dude would just come because he thinks this, because like, be careful, man. Those things are big. Navy SEALs are big. And the dude just come running up out of there like he was on fire. It was always so funny. The funniest one I ever
Oh,
saw was of course you get the new the lookouts and you tell them you get on their lookout net and go coming in Lund fast there's a B1RD, do you see it? No, I don't see it. Dude, he's coming in slow, do you see it? He's right off bearing 220, see it? It's a B1RD, do you see it? No, I don't see it. Right behind us another CGU-11, can you see it? No, I don't see it. What is it? No, there's two CGU-11s and a B1RD coming in fast, do you see them? They're right on the water. No, I don't see them. Do you know what a B1RD is? A bird.
oh no.
A B1RD.
Oh my God.
A CGU-11.
Oh, you kidding me, you
Seagull.
guys?
A seagull. And you'd have these guys with the binoculars. I don't see it. I don't see it. We had the CO come up one time. So another thing we would do is up on the forecastle, you had the forecastle hoses, which was a charged 1.5-inch fire hose. And they'd pull them out to hose off the anchor as you're pulling it up out of the mud. So down in the windlass where you roll this thing up on these giant rolls, it was the hose reel. And you get a guy down there and charge the hose, and then you put a giant pan over the top of it to cover. You get the new guys on the ship, and they're like, "Dude, they just captured a seabat on the forecastle. Do you want to see it?" Yeah, it's under that cover. Go lift it up. It's down in there. And so you bring the new guys up there, and we had 4 guys up there. And what they would do is, as soon as the guy would flip it up, you'd hit him with a fire hose. The commanding officer was walking around. And he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And one of the new guys goes, "Oh, Commander, there's a sea bat under the cover over there. I've never seen one. We're gonna go take a look at it." And we're like, "Oh, we are so screwed." And the commander goes, "Oh, that's a great idea. Go lift that cover." And he watched us. It was so fun. And we're looking at the commander, and he's like laughing. We're like, "Okay, guess it's okay."
Oh,
But we did stuff to people all the time, and it was just too fun.
you
So
have to.
yeah,
You have to,
yeah. I mean, you get bored otherwise. Who wants to be bored?
right?
Yeah.
My 20 something years that I spent with Home Depot, we had so many people looking for elbow grease. I can't even begin to tell you. It's in hardware. No, it's in the cleaning aisle. No, you gotta go look for it. It's elbow grease. Look
Millie's
harder.
Millie said she wants to be a mod. I don't know, guys. What do you think?
She's not. She doesn't offend enough. She needs to be a heavy offender. She's got to be a mod.
I think I have tortured her enough to make her a mod.
All
Congratulations,
right.
Millie. You're a mod.
Yay, Millie!
Now, go strike fear into people.
If she can grow a
She could put up with our
Looks like
shit.
I'll
She could be a
stick
mod.
forever.
Yeah.
Put you in your places. Watch out.
We're gonna get her on one day. Yeah, we can get her in as a producer one day, but she's got to get on one day.
Yep.
There's the wrench.
She's got the
She found
wrench.
it. She found the wrench.
Yeah, she says, "Wrench or not, I'm still amazing." Yes, you are. You're amazing.
Aw.
Yeah. All right. I've did my good deed for the day. Now let's go run somebody down. Who could we talk about?
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Some of the Navy stuff was really cool, no matter how messed up it was. We would go. You get the new guys. You torture the new guys their first 6 months. You make them pay. We had a guy one time that we wrapped him in a laundry bag, duct taped it, hung him by his feet, and hung a dustpan on it with a note that said "Spank me."
Oh,
So everybody that came through would grab the dustpan, and he's in duct tape. We're wrapped up in this freaking laundry bags. They just wail the shit out of him, and that was always fun. As long as you actually didn't hurt somebody and make them bleed, which I've got to know the story about that. And the dudes got in real bad trouble. But yeah, everything was pretty much allowed back in the '90s, so everything was good.
I know nothing of this. I don't know what you're speaking of.
Dude, I was a
yeah,
shellback.
90s. My husband was in. I remember his crew. They were absolutely awesome. They had a lot of fun. My daughter joined, and I mean, she was raised by wolves. I'm an army brat. My husband's military. She was raised by wolves. But she goes in, and when she was deployed and in Afghanistan, she was talking about how she was trying to talk to one of the people who they had the red cards, like, I don't really feel it right now. And she would get written up for trying to keep them in line or doing what they're supposed to be doing. And they'd show their red cards. So I feel like things took a turn. She did her term and got out. No, she put in almost 10 years and then got out.
Yeah, when I was an instructor in Great Lakes, they had the stress cards. They were yellow, and it was a chaplain card, is what it was. You get stressed, and they send you to the chaplain. My
Yeah.
roommate made a kid the third time he pulled the stress card, he made him eat it, and nothing happened to him. They freaked out. They came out, they did an investigation. The IG came down, and he's like, "Well, it was either that or kick him out." Because what you're supposed to do with these training times out is you're supposed to go down, and it gets explained to you, okay, what you're doing is safe, nothing can happen, and if he doesn't feel safe after that, then they remove you from the training environment. And if the training environment is required to do what you're doing, then they kick you out. So then you lose your ability, or you get kicked out of boot camp or whatever. But this kid would stop just short of the point where they would kick him out. He'd say, "Okay, fine," and they'd go back to training. So the third time he pulled it, he literally made the kid eat it right in front of him. And so
Oh
they
my
asked him,
God.
well, why'd you do that? And he's like, well, he'll either now quit for good or he'll put up with it. And the kid did stay. He never pulled it again. He went ahead and went through boot camp.
It's
So
awesome.
yeah, it's like
It's awesome.
Wild Man Ward. I haven't seen you here in a while, a really long time. So welcome in.
I got one in boot camp right now in the Army.
Do you?
Yeah,
Heck
yeah.
yeah.
He enlisted and went in about 6 weeks ago. So the other one was telling me about it, and then he was laughing about making me feel old when he asked me because the other one's in the Air Force, and he said, "Dad, when you went to boot camp, what did you do with your cell phone?" Which brought on the Tourette's. I was like, "What the hell do you
Yeah,
mean? I mean, not freaking cell phones."
yeah. I can't believe that they give them cell phone. I mean, there
Yeah,
was a lot
we
to
got what, two phone calls the whole time.
yeah. There was a lot to the character building of having to go to the phone booth and wait your turn in line to get to the phone center. That was character building, And I'm not even sure if you can make collect phone calls anymore. I'm not even sure that's a thing.
Oh,
I don't think so.
the only time that was in boot camp we had two phone calls. We had the one that was the 30-second, I made it here safe, and then there was the other one of you get a few minutes and you get to invite them to the graduation, but that's about it. The worst I ever, longest I ever had to wait for a phone call was in when they sent us over for a break to Bahrain, and pretty much we got to sit there and drink beer while we were waiting on the phone. So that wasn't too bad.
I want to say, so in Italy, you had to have a phone token to make a phone call. And all the phone token did was give you access to the phone. You still had to make a collect phone call. So we got this wild idea. MCI was doing military phone cards. You could buy a credit card. Remember the old MCI cards?
Yeah, I do.
And everybody thought this is so great. I can call home and it doesn't cost anything and it's like really cheap and whatever. Got my first phone bill and it was $600.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, never doing this again.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Oh,
done with this. I was
Trying to
like,
we got
call and keep up with the hubby was, who could afford that? You couldn't afford that. To this day, I still use AT&T because they give out phone vouchers, even if they weren't your carrier, to the military families. That it was like a $50 phone voucher that they gave out to the families of deployed soldiers, and it made the difference of getting to talk to your husband or your spouse for a few minutes, just a few
well,
minutes.
I learned on Yahoo Chat, you can get on Yahoo Chat and do a voice call for free on Yahoo. So in '06, I would go to the MCI or go to the rec center, get on the computer because I think you got like 15 minutes on the computer. So get on there, do a Yahoo Chat to my wife, call her, and we talk over the computer. And I remember I went to a big base one time, and that one actually had a camera on the computer, and that was the first time she had seen me in like 8 months. Is this little bitty screen, little black and white picture of me. This probably couldn't even tell it was actually me, but she knew it was me, so that was enough. But then when I went back in '08, I was there from '08 to 10. I brought a laptop, and I bought a internet card, which was like $30 a month. And then I could talk to her every night, and I could get on this for as long as I wanted to on my hooch and talk to her over the internet again on Yahoo Chat. And so yeah, technology has came a long way, even in the 2 years between '06 and '08 deployments.
oh,
It was awesome. So I guess I can't
Yeah.
fault the kids too much, but I think at boot camp, I don't know why a kid. I think it would be a distraction, honestly. And I think a friend of mine said that now every Sunday they get to get on their cell phones for an hour. So it's
yeah,
yeah,
so they have cell phone Sundays.
yeah.
Yeah, like before cell phones and in-home computers and Wi-Fi and all that stuff.
It's insane.
So dumb,
Yeah.
old as shit. But the difference between my daughter being deployed and having a cell phone where she was able to call us or text us or just let us know that, things are going okay or not okay, it was a night and day difference, you know?
I don't even think they have phone booths anymore. I think like maybe in the supermarket there's always one in the front now, but I think that's it. I don't think they're not on the street anymore. I can't remember
So
the
I
last time
was
I've seen a
really
phone booth.
surprised. I stopped at one of those emergency phones and I walked up to it because I was going to make like a little spoof about I went to call someone who cares and there was no phone in there. There was a phone. It was all digital, and the second you picked it up, it put you through to the CHP.
I do see those on the side of bridges sometimes. I think Louisiana has the emergency phones on the Atchafalaya Swamp Bridge. Yeah, but that's the only in the what's the other one? The one that goes between New Orleans and I can't remember the other. It goes through the Gros Tete Swamp and the Bayou Whiskey Swamp. There's like every like 2 or 3 miles there's a phone, but it only calls Louisiana Highway Patrol or Louisiana State Police.
Hmm.
Crazy.
I don't want to talk to them.
Yours frozen again, girl.
I know. I know. I don't know why.
Well, at least that's a better picture of you. It's a very thought provoking picture. Ah, and now you're gone. And now you're back. And now you
And
froze.
now you're back.
Never mind.
And now you're gone.
Oh my God.
You're froze
Wait,
again.
what's stacked on top of the refrigerator?
Macaroni noodles. Whole wheat macaroni noodles. My dogs are on a very special diet, okay? So like,
Wait a minute.
they
No.
eat they eat 10 cups of food a day between all three of them of ground turkey, whole wheat macaroni noodles, broccoli, carrots, and zucchini. And chicken livers and cranberries. And I cannot keep my dad out of it. He's like, "Oh, you made a hot dish." And I was like, "Do not eat that. That's for my dogs." It's amazing. Dad, don't eat that. Like, you know how hard it is to find whole wheat macaroni noodles? Oh
Your
my God.
dogs are eating better than me. What the hell?
I was gonna say it makes sense.
I
I
know.
don't even cook
So
that way for me. I mean, shit.
I have two freezers outside downstairs full of ground turkey, cranberries, like the zucchini, carrots, everything ground up and prepared. And then I've got, I don't know, like 100 boxes of whole wheat macaroni noodles. They're so
You,
hard to find.
you know that's not bad. That's actually not bad. That's from somebody who used to feed his dog hamburger, cooked hamburger meat and rice and zucchini also. 'Cause zucchini-
Oh, our dog
Right?
loves
So,
rice.
yeah, they have allergies and one of them can't have rice, but they can all have whole wheat macaroni and turkey. One of them has a little sensitivity to the whole wheat, but not enough. He gets, a little hive now and then if I give him pizza crust. So no more pizza crust for bourbon.
Oh, if we eat Chinese, the dog has to have some of the white rice. I think that's the whole reason I get white rice is where I can give some to the dog.
Oh,
Earn her forever lasting love. Hey, Millie X, now that you're a moderator, you've got to show up to all of these. You got to be on time too.
yes, you
So
do.
no more
All of you,
surfing.
the leg and everything.
No more surfing Saturday morning, leg or not. You've got to be here.
Hell yeah.
Unless you get
Next
permission in
Friday, I am
advance.
off of work and I may not be here.
You're never here on time. We've come to accept it.
Oh, I may not be here at all. It's my birthday weekend and I'm taking off.
Next weekend?
Yeah.
It's your birthday? No, no
Uh
birthdays.
huh.
No birthdays.
My birthday's never, I know. But, anyways, at work, they're very woke. And so you get your birthday off. And I asked if I could have mine on a Friday instead. And they're like, yeah, hell yeah, you can. So, yeah, I get a 3-day weekend.
Well, this place is the first place that gave me Veterans Day off.
Oh, wow.
I came in. Actually, no, the crane company did too. I came one day and they were like, "Oh, tomorrow's Veterans Day," and I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "You're a veteran, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, take tomorrow off."
Oh, wow.
All right, I will, and I did.
That's awesome.
Too cool. Not many
That
places
is
do that.
awesome.
I've been lucky in my last couple of jobs.
Not many. And being a small business, when I had the feed store, we didn't have very many paid vacations. I think it was like 5 total. But the veterans who worked there got Veterans Day off. There was, I think, 3 total. But yeah, they had Veterans Day off.
And they should.
The
I
rest
mean,
of us
it's
worked.
what's the they're selling linens and blankets and towels half off, and why can't the veterans get the day off? I mean, it's missing the whole point. And I don't go eat the $10 steak. Veterans Day, I'm going to stay home, drink beer, and play video games. I mean, that's that's how I'm going to celebrate. I
Are you
don't.
kidding me? You should go to Texas Roadhouse, get yourself a
Eh,
Fort Worth ribeye.
Because both of us go, yeah.
I don't
Oh
know.
my God.
The guys that do that are the guys that were in for like 2 years and 4 years, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm a veteran. I got my hat and everything. Give me my pie. Give me my free pie." You know, it's so overplayed. You know, and I know guys who will go around from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant and get all of their little $10 meals because it's I don't know. It feels overplayed.
For the first time that I ever asked for a veterans discount, I was actually kind of laughing about it. I didn't think they would give it to me. It was last week down at the at Scorpion Harley Davidson, right down the street. And I said, I was laughing. I said, well, they said there was some kind of a Memorial Day discount last week. I don't know, probably a veterans discount or something. He goes, oh, you're a veteran? I said, yeah. And he goes, yeah, we'll give you a percentage off. And I was like, really?
I, I,
That's
I get it
you
at
know?
Lowe's.
And
awesome.
then he started like typing away on the thing, and he goes, we'll give it for this. So let me just work this around. And then he finally just said, here, it's going to be like $200 less. And I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm registered at
So,
Lowe's because I spend a lot of money at Lowe's, so I'll take that discount. But when it
Yeah.
comes to food, it's like I feel weird going in and going, yeah, let me have that free appetizer. We went to Red Lobster one time, and this guy was trying to get, and the dude was in his like 70s or 80s, and he asked for the military. She goes, well, you've got to have proof of your military service. This dude's like 70. He's like, I don't know what you want to see. I mean, I was in Vietnam. That's what I. And she's like, well, I don't know. And I said, I'll pay for it. I'll just pay. Well, no,
Oh my
he needs to
God.
prove he was in. And I'm like, I'll pay for his appetizer. This is stupid. And I think that interaction was kind of burned me from going to and doing this stuff. Because you've
No,
got some
no,
dude over there that's in his
no,
20s
no.
that's not even trying to prove, can't know there's no way he can prove he was in, and he gets it. And you're giving crap to this old man about it? Really? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like that. And they don't make ID cards anymore. They just, notate it on your driver's license, I guess.
They do, and you can
that's
get
only
a
if you show
veteran
them.
service. You can get a veteran service card from the VA because I've got one.
Yeah, you can
I've
get
got my
that.
retirement card, my VA card, and then I've got my VFW card.
Even my driver's license doesn't. I haven't shown them my DD 214, so it's not on my driver's license. I don't need the license plate. I don't need any of the stuff.
We have the DD 214, and they still wouldn't. It's just notated in California. They don't give you a veteran's ID card. It's on your driver's license,
If you
not
go to
even
the
your
VA,
license
you get
plate.
one. If you go to the VA,
Well,
you'll get
you
a
have
VA
to
card.
go through your civil service agent, your VC, SMA, whatever it is. But yeah, so like he's in the VA all the time, but they don't do it there. It's got to go through the VC person,
He
and
should
then
have a
the
VA's card. A
DMV.
VA.
Mm-mm,
Every VA gives VA cards. Why
mm-mm.
don't they? It's not a state thing. It's a federal thing.
Yeah, it's a
I
federal
don't
thing.
know
Hmm. I've never heard of that
because it
either.
would make life a little easier.
I actually got before I did anything for the VA. I had to get my VA medical card before they would do anything for me.
Hmm.
That's odd.
Yeah, before even got my percentage, yeah, I had to get an ID card. I don't know where it's at. I have no idea. But
Next time we go into the VA, I'm gonna press a little bit more. I think sometimes he just doesn't like asking.
Yeah. They made me get mine and had to show it every time I go in. But yeah, mine's welded to the back of my card because I stopped going to the VA doctor. It's a long story, and I'll tell you some other time. But anyway, uh, so we're winding down. We'll go ahead and wind it up for the night. Thank you guys for coming in, Biker Girl, in and out.
What the
You're
hell? I
frozen
swear to God,
again.
I just I do not understand. Okay,
Thanks for
how do I
trying.
make
thanks for sharing the noodles.
Thanks for sharing the. Yeah, you got to give me your
that?
recipe for
Wait a
kidney
minute, you
noodle
saw my
cheese,
what?
turkey pie.
That is awesome. I want to be reincarnated as her dog. Okay.
I know, me too. I do too. Like
No,
they're
she
so.
mistreats her dogs. They're all sick. No.
Shush you! Shut the front
No,
door. I do
no.
not. I take care of them.
I'll be the only dog in history with type 2. It'll be great.
Dude, I don't get these old people that have all these blind dogs. They feed them chocolate and ice cream and all this shit, and then they're like, "Why is my dog going blind? I don't know why." Here, have another Hershey bar.
Why is that dog smiling? He's blind, but he gets to eat really good.
Yeah.
And he gets his daily wiener rubs. Like, why not?
He gets his what rubbed?
Yep, I said it. You don't know. You don't know.
What was the dog? What was this show? Oh, it was Canine with Jim Belushi, where he's like, "How do you get the dog to mind?" And she's like, "Oh, I give him lots of positive enforcement, and I feed him the best food, and every once in a while I let him mount me." And he goes, "You what?" And she's, "Uh huh."
What?
He goes, "Lucky dog."
Yeah, a rub. Give him, leg rubs. I was like, okay, all right, we'll rub your wiener just a little bit.
Keep him happy. What's the world coming to?
And I share custody with my mother-in-law, so they go home. It's just like, I don't know why. They just like being with you more. I'm like, me.
You're sick. Fucking California, man, I tell you. All right.
As you're picking them up and look over at the dry food dish going, uh-huh.
Shit. Okay.
All right. We'll go ahead and head out. Let's see. Let's find the porn music. Guys, thanks for coming in. So like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. And don't forget that down below in the comments there, right above the comments, I sell t-shirts, mugs, hats, all that crap, stickers. So stop off, buy a t-shirt in the shop. It helps pay for all this crap. So, because I'm still eating plain food. I don't have liver, onion, spaghetti like some dogs do. I've got to be poor.
I'll send you some. Sounds the liver.
Send me some noodles. Send me some liver, onion, cheese, bacon, turkey noodles. All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Let's go with Riverside number 6, which is the porn song. Oh, I forgot to do final thoughts. Doug, final thoughts.
Take a long trip. That's it.
Take a long trip. Get your leg rubbed.
Get a long road trip in.
You're taking a long trip too.
Oh, hey, look at that. I try to do that often. Actually, I think tomorrow we're gonna ride to Yuma and back, and then we'll probably leave the day after. So,
well, have fun on your trip. Let us know how you're doing. Drop us some comments every once in a while. Let us know that you're still alive.
I'll throw some Instagram up, and I'll probably be on the cell phone next Friday.
If we decide to do it next Friday, Biker Girl, when are you gonna stand us up again?
Next Friday.
Is it next Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I actually do have something going on next weekend, so I might actually. Let's tell you what, we'll ride next weekend out. We'll give it a break for a little bit. Yeah, that way nobody has to hurry home and be on their phones, and so.
I like that.
All right, Biker Girl, final comments while you're froze staring at the camera so earnestly.
I know, isn't that just creepy? It's creepy.
You look like a disappointed mom.
I am. Well, I do have daughters, so I'm not a disappointed mom.
You have your disappointed face on. I'm not mad, honey. I'm just disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. No, I don't have very much of that, to be honest. So I will say final thoughts. Doug, my pops lives in Yuma half of the year. So I go there as often as I can to visit. We'll have to meet up one of these times.
Absolutely. I used to live in Somerton, actually.
Okay, I'll pretend like I know where that is, but I've been to Yuma and Quartzsite.
Hey, and like I said, you're always welcome here at the house, whether we're here or not. I think Lila's actually going to stop in when we're not here.
Oh, good. Oh, I wish I had time off. I would come visit her.
Yeah, she's supposed to be here in a couple weekends.
In the pool.
Right.
So my final thoughts are take the course. Please take the course. Ride the bike. Go out on the rides. Ride by yourself. Ride with friends. I don't care how you ride. get out there and ride, make those memories. It's amazing. But if you can, please do take the course.
All right.
Like it.
Very well. And me, like always, if you can be anything, be kind. Unless you're dealing with somebody that doesn't ride, then they're just being a little bitch, and remind them of it. So, other than that, thanks for coming in, everybody. Get down in the comments, buy a shirt or something, and I will see you guys not next weekend, but I'll be working on the Ninja tomorrow, so I should have some content coming out this week. Other than that, thanks for coming in, everybody, and I will see you on the next trip. I would say everybody dance, but Biker Girls froze again.
I know, but I put on a smile for you. You saw that, right?
You have a smile. Your disappointed face is gone. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. See you next time.
Bye-bye.